Hey, it's Tuesday. Welcome into First Take. Good morning. I just woke Skip Bayless up. He is here in studio.
I've been awake since 5.
Stephen A. Smith, of
unlike
course
my
you
partner.
have. Probably got a workout in, too.
I got a workout in.
I'm jealous.
I'm about to get in another one.
Well, I will say
Double
this.
session.
I will say this. I was actually up at 5 this
Were
morning.
you really?
This morning.
Well, I have
It's a miracle.
I have to make an announcement to our faithful viewers. Stephen A. Smith is in Bristol, Connecticut.
Hey!
My partner is here for the first time in, what is it, like 6 months?
Well, you know, listen. We were gone on vacation for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, when they were airing tennis.
We were forced off.
We came back.
Yeah.
We were together in L.A.
We were.
And then I realized that, you know, even though you did miss me, I didn't feel the love, the appreciation enough from you, so I thought I'd stay away for an additional day.
Oh, so you were...
So now we miss him.
Absence
so
makes the heart go
extra
fond.
love.
I'm in the house. I'm in the house.
We're glad to have you both in the flesh. Coming up, the old ball coach, Steve Spurrier, he's in the house, and the Florida Gators' new head man, Jim McElwain, will be here. But first, on Sunday, Shaq sparked an interesting debate on Instagram, writing that an all-time Lakers squad of Shaq, Kobe, Baylor, Magic, and Kareem would beat the best 5 in Bulls history, including MJ, Scottie Pippen, Rodman, Grant, and D. Rose by 50 points. Pippen responded to the Big Diesel's comments with a throwback shot of himself and MJ, noting that together they won 6 championships, twice the amount he claimed while in L.A., and the gloves were off after that. Stephen A., what's your take on all this Instagram beef?
Well, first of all, Shaq doesn't need to be so disrespectful to MJ. We understand that MJ is the greatest ever in most of our eyes. He is Michael Jordan. And even if you're absolutely right, you don't need to be so flagrantly disrespectful. The Diesel is just flexing his muscles in this particular moment. MJ can't beat 5 people by himself, even though his greatness appears to have been capable of doing so on occasion throughout his NBA career. Pippen is no joke. Regardless of what my man Skip Bayless would say, he is an all-time 50 greatest player, considering what he did on both ends of the floor. I am a Scottie Pippen fan, but at the end of the day, when you talk about a Dennis Rodman or Horace Grant compared to an Elgin Baylor, a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, whatever, I mean, come on now. There's just no question that whether it's Kareem, that skyhook, the most unstoppable move in the history of the game, Shaq and his dominance, you know, the second most dominant player of all time outside of Wilt Chamberlain in terms of his physical dominance, the greatness of Magic Johnson, Kobe. I mean, MJ, to me, just wouldn't have enough help offensively. So when I look at it from that perspective, clearly Shaq is right. I don't know if it would be by 50 points, but I think the combination of Rodman and Horace Grant on the team being offensive liabilities and incapable of stopping a Shaq, a Kareem.
Yeah, how about defensive liabilities? How about defensive mismatch?
Well, they're defensive mismatch because of size.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that just in terms of their prowess as defenders, I would give credit where credit is due, but they're no match. The all-time Bulls are no match for the all-time Lakers. Shaq is right about that, but he just didn't have to rub it in like that. Shaq just seems in a bad mood these days. Let's let him rub it in a little bit extra.
Rub it in?
I don't know what's up with him.
I have a bone to pick with my man Shaquille O'Neal. I think that he rigged this game in favor of his Lakers.
Totally.
I think he stacked the deck in favor of his Lakers. Because if I'm not mistaken here, I think Shaquille O'Neal picked the 5 all-time Bulls. Is that the way we're supposed to? That's how I'm playing it. Because obviously the 2 teams he picked are a mismatch in favor of the Lakers. I don't think they could win by 50 because nobody will beat Michael Jordan by 50 points in any game.
That's not going to happen.
But let's start with that defensive mismatch. If the tallest player you're giving the Bulls is Horace Grant, he's listed at 6'10". I don't think he's more than 6'9". Did you? Were you around him a little bit?
6'9". They say 6'10".
Yeah, whatever.
6'9".
Dennis Rodman, I covered. He's listed at 6'7". I don't think he's much more. He's listed 6'7". I'm not sure he's over 6'6".
No, he is over 6'6".
A below-the-rim rebounder. So those 2 are going to cover Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Shaquille O'Neal. That's a mismatch with Magic throwing lobs. Talk about Lob City. That would be Lob City right there, right? Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to pick my own Bulls team here. I'm just going to take this opportunity to show you how, if you give me the all-time pool of Chicago Bulls players, I can pick a team that will beat Shaquille O'Neal's 5.
The other thing is you want to take Shaquille O'Neal or Kareem out because they play the same position.
Well, I don't care. If you want to go twins, I don't care. Okay. However you want to do it, I don't care. Against that starting 5 of the Bulls, I would play both of them because I think it would just be overwhelming inside, okay? But do you remember the great Artis Gilmore? Do you remember him?
I remember him.
Stood 7'2" at about, he's listed at about 240. I think he was about 260 because he was a big man.
A lefty,
he had stature.
Very strong. Played in San Antonio for a while.
He did, but he played for 6 years for the Chicago Bulls, so I'd say he counts here, right? Played 6 years, made 6 NBA All-Star teams, 5 ABA All-Star teams, multiple all-defensive teams. So you don't think he would be some kind of a matchup for Shaquille O'Neal? Because I do. I think he couldn't stop Shaq, but I think he could bother Shaq at 7'2" to 7'1".
He was physical.
Yeah, very physical. And he was once an all-defensive player of the year. Now, let's move to Tyson Chandler, who is also a Bull, by the way, for 5 years. Does he not qualify as an all-time Bull at 7 feet 1 inches tall? So I'll take,
You just said all-time Bull. You're going to bring up Tyson Chandler?
Yeah, well, I can pick from the pool now. I'm trying to match up with this other team that Shaq has taken the liberty of picking, right?
All right.
Okay, Tyson Chandler, all Defensive Player of the Year. Was he not Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, for the Knicks.
I don't care who it's Defensive Player for. He was Defensive Player of the Year in the NBA.
Yes.
So he stands 7'1". You don't think that he could at least bother Kareem Abdul-Jabbar a little bit? I do.
No.
I do.
Not Kareem.
Okay, so you give me those two. I'll stick with Dennis Rodman, and I'll give you Scottie Pippen, because defensively, Scottie Pippen was really good. He's not an all-time top 50 player. He was made top 50 by Michael Jordan. But I will take Scottie Pippen defensively, and I will take Michael Jordan, and I will beat that all-time Lakers team. Because I got to tell you, Michael can match up with Kobe Bryant. I'm not saying he could stop Kobe, but he could really bother Kobe. And I think the
Kobe could really bother him, even though he can't stop MJ.
Who do you like better? You want Michael or you want Kobe? I got Michael.
I'm always going with Michael, but the difference between Michael and Kobe is not going to offset the dominance that Shaq and Kareem would provide down low. And so
not with these two guys.
I'm telling you,
I got two big men.
Shaq and Kareem would destroy Artis Gilmore.
Nope, they would not destroy.
Tyson Chandler. I like Tyson Chandler. I really do. Tyson Chandler doesn't even belong in this conversation. He doesn't even belong in this conversation.
You're about to burn your bridge with him.
Well, I'm sorry. Listen.
Hey.
If I'm going to burn my bridge by talking about people's skill set that they put on display in front of millions, then damn it, napalm them. Because I'm going to tell the truth. Tyson Chandler, who I respect and like, does not belong in the same sentence as Shaquille O'Neal.
Did he win an NBA championship?
Yes, he did. He was on a team. You know what? So did Bill Wennington. So did Stacey King, Skip Bayless. So did Bill
Luke Longley.
So did Luke
Michael Jordan.
Exactly. So don't give me that.
Who was on the Dallas team? Was Michael Jordan on the Mavericks team?
Don't interrupt me when I'm talking. Don't give me these names just because they got a championship. You all know that it doesn't have just, a lot of people have a ring and they were passengers on a bus instead of drivers. So let's stop it.
I'm matching up.
Listen, you match up all you want to. All I'm telling you is I respect Tyson Chandler, especially in today's game. When you talk about all-time greats, you do not belong in the same conversation as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Shaquille O'Neal. Stop it.
You're missing my point.
You're matching up.
I'm matching up.
I know
Shaq started and I'm finishing it.
I'm saying to you, you're just picking from the lot of Bulls because that's all you got.
That's fair.
That's fine. But to sit there and say, well, they'll give him a problem. They
would give him a problem.
Tyson Chandler is not going to give Shaquille O'Neal or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar a tough time. Artis Gilmore and his physicality could pose a problem in terms of him leaning on Kareem. But I recall him and Kareem playing through the same era, and you didn't hear much about Artis Gilmore when it came to going against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was on another level. And let's not get into the dominance of Shaquille O'Neal. The only reason why we don't sit there and put Shaquille O'Neal up as the most dominant force we have ever seen in NBA history
said he was.
is because Wilt Chamberlain was so dominant of a physical specimen compared to what he was going up against, even though Bill Russell won the 11 rings because he had a lot more help. The point that I'm trying to make to you is Shaquille O'Neal was the most dominant force of the modern day era and maybe the most dominant force we have ever seen in our lifetime. You don't take a conversation that he creates and says, well, I have a matchup for you and it's going to include Tyson Chandler. You just don't do that.
What happened in the NBA Finals when the Bulls finally broke through and Scottie Pippen did take Magic Johnson? What happened?
Well, Magic Johnson, who did Magic Johnson have? It wasn't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, and Byron Scott and Michael Cooper and all of those boys. Magic Johnson had Vlade Divac, if I remember correctly, and Lord knows who else. I mean, it wasn't the typical Showtime Lakers that the Bulls and Jordan beat.
But Scottie did a very good job.
He did an exceptional job.
He did.
On Magic. He did an exceptional job.
Okay.
But let's just put things in its proper perspective and understand that one has nothing to do with the other. That was not the Showtime Lakers that played in the finals against Michael Jordan.
If
and
the
Chicago
team
Bulls.
I proposed played the team Shaq proposes from the Lakers, what would the score be?
The team you proposed?
Yeah.
They'd lose by about 30, 35.
30 or 35? Are you kidding me? Yeah. Michael Jordan, with those two post players, and Rodman and Scottie would lose by 35? You are completely disrespecting by far the greatest player who ever walked on
track. Michael
Yes,
Jordan.
you are.
I'm saying that when you give me Tyson Chandler with Artis Gilmore to offset Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Shaquille O'Neal, you lose me.
No.
I know that Michael Jordan would do what he does, but you don't win. You don't win at all.
Yes, I do. Right. Michael Jordan would be by far the best player on the court.
We need
on the court.
First Take is about engaging in realistic conversation.
No, this is very realistic.
So let's go.
This is a little before your time kind of conversation.
Before my time?
Yes.
What have you mentioned? I'm sorry, Tyson Chandler's before my time?
Artis Gilmore's way before your time.
Artis Gilmore's not before my time.
How old are you?
I'm 47.
Are you lying about your age?
I'm 47, and I grew up watching Artis Gilmore. I watched him when he was with the Spurs, as well as when he was with the Bulls, okay? I remember when Rod Thorne drafted Michael Jordan, for crying out loud. I remember
when he played for Jacksonville in college.
I remember when Portland was down 0-2 to Julius Erving and the Philadelphia 76ers and Bill Walton and Maurice Lucas and those boys, Lionel Hollins and those boys came back from an 0-2 deficit and won 4 straight in 1977. Yes, I do. This is I was watching. Okay, I'm not deferring to your expertise on this one because of age. Okay, I saw that. Artis Gilmore is to be respected. He could play. I like him a lot. Bob Lanier could play. He was another one. But Kareem was on another level.
Sure he was.
Period.
Match up. Michael Jordan would finally take this game over.
Oh, Lord.
Kobe couldn't deal with it.
Okay. You're wrong about that.
Thank you.
You're wrong about that.
All right. Let's leave